Okay, I think we're live now.
This is just down or something.
This is most. All right, are we live? I think we're live. I think we're live. See this? I am so confused on today on what happened, but we're actually live now, I believe, so we can actually get this started. All right. Jeez, I was talking to myself for the past 5 minutes trying to get this to work. Sorry, guys. The stream has been really wonky. I'm really unsure why, but we're gonna, see what we can do, and then we'll kind of work from there. Hello, what's up? Hello, Kopana. All right. Today we're going to be making a tier list on the best agents to main. As you can see, we have the tier list already pulled up. So now we're going to kind of figure out what that is. So let's kind of talk about the things that would be important. So number one, what would make a good agent to main? Well, we would obviously need this agent to be good on multiple maps, If this agent is only good on one map, well, kind of sucks. Like it just doesn't make sense to main someone when they're only in a good in a very niche scenario. So what's a common one here? Like Phoenix is notoriously good for Haven, but on most other maps you would rather play another agent, therefore maining Phoenix isn't the best choice. But yeah, and we're gonna compare this to our last list of from 2022 about the best agents to main, since there has been significant changes to the meta now that it makes sense. Armin, hello. Welcome. Today we're going to be making a agent main tier list, so you guys just made it just in time. And you guys are going to be in a video. Okay, so we have 5 different tier lists. We have 5 different tiers. We have S with free RR, pretty much. That's exactly what it is. You play these agents, you just gain free RR. This is the best because you have the highest chances of winning. A, it's just really good. Really like above average. B is not bad, so this is probably the most average. It's like not a bad choice to do it, and maybe like the reason you would pick them is strictly just because you like the agent, and that's completely fine. We have C, which is which is like, I don't really know why you're playing this agent. If I guess the only thing is that you like to, or you're trying something out or something like that, but like there's not really a reason to. And then we have D, which is like win trading, which is, don't play this agent. I mean, if you're trying to gain RR, this is not the agent you should be playing if they're in the D category. So duelists are going to be better in general. You'll see. We'll see. We're going to kind of go through and then we'll kind of discuss it. So let's start with D tier. The one that comes to my mind, the first one that comes to mind is Harbor. Harbor's abilities actually kind of work well in a solo queue-esque, in the fact that like out of the controllers, I think him and Omen are like the best in terms of like just creating utility that helps you get kills. And kills are very important when you're solo queuing, because that's the most direct way of creating an impact. Obviously, there are kills that don't matter or just are unimpactful kills, but in general, a player that gets more kills is better than a player that gets less kills. Harbor, the only bad part about it is that that's it, and he's not even like the best. Like he's not even fully selfish. Like you're not even that much ahead by playing Harbor fully selfishly, and to help his team as far as the ranks go, nobody knows how to play around Harbor. Everyone just kind of just assumes that the Harbor knows what they're doing, but I don't think our Harbor is usually optimal in any sense. Nobody really knows how to play around them. Also, quick question: does KO Knife have the same physics as Viper Molly? I want to say no, but I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe. No, KO Knife and KJ Molly. I'm sure KJ Molly and KO Knife are this KO Molly, but not, I don't know about the knife. Anyway, yep. Harbor, bad. Just not really a reason to play him. As far as we know now, there's no real good way to use him. Pros will probably use him way better than we can. Yeah. After that, I don't know if there's anyone else is considered win trading, because every agent is. This is actually a really solid state of the meta right now. Um, if I were to think, I would kind of want to put Chamber there, but I think Chamber is significantly better than Harbor. Like if I see a Harbor, I feel like we're gonna lose. But if I see a Chamber, then I think that there's still a chance. Like Chamber, I still think is not bad. And in terms of maining, I might want to put him on the B tier, but I think C tier is still where it's at. Especially at the higher ranks, you're gonna start realizing the Chamber is falling off. Like you need to get good at a meta agent and not just at a niche agent, usually. So Chamber, like there's better picks. So now we're gonna say Chamber doesn't really have that many great use cases. Especially since he only has one trip and he has to stay within the radius. His TP is now worse than before. Like your playstyle is just completely different and it's a lot more passive. Don't think he's that good anymore. So I'm gonna put him as C tier here. All right. After that, we're going to be putting at another C tier. I want to say Neon. So Neon's good. I would say Neon's better than Chamber. If you're good at Neon. I think being the skill ceiling for Neon is very, very high. But the issue is most people don't reach that skill ceiling. So that's why it's like, it's really hard to do. And on like Neon's very niche pick. Like in terms of maps, she's good on Fracture. She was good on Breeze. But most of the time, like the way you play Neon, your teammates don't really know how to play around. And therefore you won't get R. Even if though you might individually be fragging, if your teammates kind of like, remember, this is a team game. You can keep saying I have kills, but if your team doesn't win because you have those kills, then it doesn't kind of matter. Chamber needs a small buff. I would agree. I think you can give him either 2 trips now or like, yeah, I think 2 trips would be fine. Give him 2 trips, but you have to stay near them. Or give him 2 trips and 1 trip and that he doesn't need to stay near, but his TP is still the same. I think that would be fine. How do you feel about Neon and Pearl? I agree. Neon and Pearl is also very good. I like Neon and Pearl. But I just don't think that like across more of the maps, you'd rather have like a jet ball or like something else, you know, nades. Something that your team easily works off of. All right, so that's why Neon high skill ceiling, low team utility in terms of how your team plays around it. Also, just like very niche, not a big map pool that they're good on. Along with that, I want to say Yoru. So Yoru's actually, I would say, the highest skill ceiling out of all of them in terms of like tactics. Yoru has so much outplay potential with fake TPs, real TPs, fake clones, real clones, and then like using your ult, your shorty, your TP. You're playing the positions really well. You always have fast rotates. Yoru is actually really good, and actually he doesn't really have any particular map that he's bad on. I will say that he just has maps that he doesn't really have any maps that he's particularly good on. When Bind was around, Yoru was really good. Because you could abuse the TP sound and use the TPs like, you know, like the same. But without it, now he's just kind of like solid on every map, so he doesn't have any standout points. And I think like I do think he's a very fun agent to play. I don't think he's optimal for gaining RR, especially if you're not already really, really good at the game. What about KO? We're moving on to it. Hello, yesterday I got an iron neon in my silver lobby. How'd they do? That's pretty bad. Okay, I forgot to also mention, we want to talk about what the difference is between last tier list and this tier list. We want to, basically, we got a new map. We have Pearl, and we also have Lotus. So there's 2 maps. We also now have Harbor, which is different. And now we have the chamber nerfs, which are significant. There's been a bunch of nerfs, but specifically the chamber nerfs like kind of put them into the ground. So there hasn't been any nerfs that changed these 2. But I would argue that Yoru could be B, depending on how good you are at Yoru and how willing you are to learn how to outplay. But I would say at the lower ranks, it's probably gonna fall more to C because it's just like you don't have outplay potential if there's not a single thought going through your enemy's binds, you know? There's not much you could really do there. Now we're gonna move on to B tier, which is not bad. So I would put Brimstone here. This is mostly because of coverage. So do I want to put Yoru? Maybe I'll put Yoru at B. I'll put Yoru at B. All right, we move Yoru to B because I think Yoru is significantly better than Neon. Brim's not super, like, pretty good. No, Brim is okay on pretty much every map. 3 smokes basically allow it to be like a pseudo wall, even on Icebox, which is the only real Viper map now. But it's like before we had Breeze and Icebox, but now it's just Icebox. But Icebox can even be done with just 2 smokes. You could play Omen on Icebox. But Brimstone is okay on pretty much every map now that Bind's removed, so that's not a Brim map anymore. The only Brim map really is Fracture. Fracture is Brim's map and the optimal choice. Everything else he's just good at. He's okay at. There's nothing really bad about Brimstone. He always has lineups. He's a standard agent to play, not very hard to learn. But also I feel like the skill ceiling is not that high. So there's like he's like a very safe choice. It's like if you pick like the most default character, you choose Brim. Yeah, he's basic and he works. Exactly. That is pretty much it. Next we're gonna put Breach here. I think Breach has the issue where it's like your teammates you have to play around your teammates because his utility isn't really that great for himself. He usually sets up his teammates really well with stuns, with flashes. But this will be significantly worse as you go down the ranks, significantly better as you go up the ranks. But I think in general, Breach, like you would want to get to like high diamond ascendant before you actually start utilizing your Breach to the max, like, and you started like actually being a nuisance with it. And I think good breaches are very scary, but I think at the moment in ranked it's a little bit hit or miss if your teams are good or whatever. So it's like you know if you want to be impactful, you might find it hard if you have to base it off your teammates. After that we have Phoenix. Oh shoot, I didn't put Phoenix. Phoenix is at C. Phoenix is probably like somewhere in between Neon. It depends. If an okay Phoenix is better than an okay Neon. A good Neon is better than a good Phoenix, in my opinion. No, sorry. A good Neon is a good Phoenix is better than a good Neon, I would say. But a really, like, if we were to say really compare the best of the best. The best Neon versus the best Phoenix, I think the best Neon would be better. I think Neon skill ceiling is just so high. But I think and most other cases, Phoenix is probably the safer choice and the better choice. It's just easier to get value out of him. Brim and Breach not better than Yoru. Oh, if we were to do yeah, let's do it like this. Sorry, let's do it like this. Let me reorganize it. I'll reorganize it at the end too. So yeah. So that's where I'm putting Phoenix. Is always really good, but like he didn't really have any good maps besides Haven where he could farm orbs. He's like okay on Ascent. Like there's some corners that his flashes work well on. But like in general, he still hasn't found his place specifically. You'll see him run occasionally, but utility wise, it's very like selfish and it's like his wall is like whatever. It's kind of a dead ability a lot of the time. His molly's okay. Doesn't go too far. What is the criteria? I said if you go back in the video, I talked about how Yoru is not like it's hard to learn. I think it has really high potential to go up. I said higher than Neon, but like it's just that most people aren't there. So you like if you play Yoru at like extra level, then yeah, I would like throw it up there. But like or red, like all the good Yorus. But like if you're not, then you're gonna find it being like down here. Okay. Next, let's go with Astra. I think I'll put Astra also on. Not bad. I don't think Astra is like what I say? No, actually, sorry. Astra is at A tier. Astra is actually pretty good. Now, the reason why is that I would say Astra is better than Brimstone is not because she's easier to play, but she's actually good on like a solid amount of maps. She's Pearl's #1 pick. A lot of people play her on Lotus. She's still very strong on Ascent. She's Split's #1 pick. So she already has like 2 maps there with Split and Pearl being as her map, and then the other maps, let's say Lotus, she's like pretty high pick rate. Ascent, she's like solid pick rate. So is Haven. Those like are all like solid. I would say like they're 50-50. I would say Omen's slightly better, but Astra's not bad. Like she's still very solid. Then you'll find that like because she has like good maps and not so many bad maps, like she has like almost no bad maps. Maybe Icebox is really weird. I would say Icebox is a pretty terrible map for Astra. But besides that, every other map is fine. And in that case, then I would say it's really good since you have two very strong maps, so your win rates on those will be higher, but the other ones will be like about even. Yoru's broken, bro. Yoru's broken if you're good. Yoru's not broken if you're bad. What? Boy, thank you for the 40. Sorry, I don't have my noties on because I'm not like my stream was broken, but I appreciate it, Kalpana. Thank you so much. I actually don't know if that's what the sign is, but thank you for the 40. Keep doing, love your content. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think it's how many maps the agent is good at. A lot more versatile than Brim. It's a few things. It's how good the agent is, how good the agent is, how hard it is to play, and how many maps they're good on. Yeah, that's usually what I'm basing. Cypher, I want to put Cypher at A as well. I think Cypher, I want to put Killjoy at S, Cypher at A. I think there are more KJ maps than there are Cypher maps right now. And also I like the fact that these two like don't usually get insta-locked. So you actually get a chance to play these agents. Like if you play Jet, I'm also put Jet at S tier, but you guys probably expected that. These Jet would have a hard time getting picked. Okay, so Cypher, Killjoy, they're pretty much interchangeable. Before these two used to be at D tier because Chamber was so good, but now because Chamber is ass, they've moved up to S tier and A tier specifically because of what they can do. I think Cypher has a few maps. Off the top of my head, it's like Fracture. That's usually Cypher map, but could also be KJ map. I think KJ is just a better version of Cypher on a lot of these maps. It really depends on your play style. I think, yeah, I would say KJ is better in most cases, but I think Cypher could do the same job on a lot of the maps if that's already your agent. Are you gonna stick to YouTube instead of both YouTube and Twitch, or is it just for now? The stream was broken. I was trying to do both, but it's just not working. Yours broken. If you're familiar with him or Ziptie, for example, yeah, no, Ziptie is really good. I would agree. Like playing those agents on if you're good, then Yoru is insane. But it's also like, look, if you guys are them, then you guys can beat them. You know, obviously you don't need anyone, and everyone told them that Yoru sucked in the beginning. They still played Yoru. Yeah, you want to be different, you can be different. If you're trying to find the main that is the agent main that's easiest for you to rank up with, then you know, here's your guide. Okay, so yeah, there's KJ and Cypher difference. Jet is just really good. Still the prime. Now that Chamber's gone, she's back to being the primary opper. Like there's no one that replaces her really as the op. She saw as her dash was just so really good, even with the nerf of the. You know, you have to hit it twice. It's not that big of a deal. Now that Chamber's gone, she like rose up. She still has a free knives every like 6 or 7 kills, or ult points, and that helps with fueling more kills, which helps you get more ops. And then with ops is such a big point. I would say this Jet's like the best. King of getting RR is Jet. Now as for Fade, I will say I think it's down to not bad. I think Fade, and then Sova's at A. I think this is because Fade has started to get phased out with Sova coming in. I think that's mostly because KJ has came back. So now KJ's back. You need a way to break her util, right? You need a way to break her ult. Fade can't do that. Sova can. Therefore, Sova's going to get pushed up. Also, Shock Darts break Cypher Trips, which is our A tier as well. And those are the things Fade can't do anymore. Yeah, Fade could Prowler and run through, but like you can break it with Shock Darts. That's much more efficient than a Prowler, which you want to use to clear. Dart is also better than I. Jet dash, she goes get out of jail free card. Yes. Why is Jet S tier? She can op, she can dash. She has like basically a free. If you think of her dash as a free life, like you play positions that no one else can because you can get out, then you're gonna see that Jet almost has 2 lives every round just because she didn't dash. And then if you play it properly. And then the next thing is she has knives, which allow her to get more kills, which allow her to get ops because she can just save and not buy gun, and she gets knives, and then she pops knives, gets kills, whatever, then gets op, then wins the team because you just op crutch. I mean, like, I say that in a good way because I think op crushing is like important if you're playing Jet. But like, she has like so much impact. She's the opper for the team. She can also be the entry. She can also be like she can play like a lot of verticality. She just has so much flexibility. Um, KO, I think is A tier. I want to debate between KO at B or A. I think it's A tier just because he's the only one with his abilities. He can suppress. He has his knife. His ult is also really good in terms of like shutting down pushes, stopping pushes before they even start, canceling out KJ ult, Cypher trips. Like these are all like really good for the attack. And on the defense, he has information as well. You can spot how many people are there. I think KO is just the only one with this level of information and this level of utility that cannot be replaced. Sova can be swapped. Fade can be swapped. Sova. These two can be kind of swapped. But in general, like KO, the reason why, even though I would say he's not as like needed as like KJ, he's irreplaceable if you want his level of utility. Viper gives free RR, no cap. I would actually say Viper. Oh shoot, I didn't even do Viper yet. Nah, not really. I'll explain why. KO Flash is very good support if you know a few lineups. I would agree. Yeah, KO is like just has a lot of util that is like very strong, and you can play aggressively or defensively. Omen. Okay, Omen in terms of, oh, I want to say in terms of smokes, he's the best in terms of versatility. And if you're gonna main one of the smokes and you really want RR, I would say Omen is probably safe. I would. I'm actually saying it's like right next. Maybe it's not the best. Okay, maybe Omen and Astra are very close. I'll put Omen up a little. Let me think. Could you play Omen on Pearl? No, why would you? Could you play Omen on Split? Yes, you can. Omen's better on Haven. I would say Omen is better on Haven and Ascent than Astra by a little bit, but it really depends. I think Omen doesn't give you Pearl. Astra doesn't give you Icebox. So they're like relatively even. It really depends now, I will say, between these two. If you want to be big brain, join me. All right? Pick Astra. If you want to be more flexible and aggressive, then yeah, pick Omen. Omen's still a very good pick. I would say it's easier. Omen's easier to play. Astra's like much more. I think Astra's higher skill ceiling. People would argue that, oh, you can aggressively TP. Yeah, I'm like, that's going to get you killed 90% of the time. It's like, oh, that's because you're bad. I'm like, no, not really. Inherently, aggressively TPing is very risky. Yes, you can find good timings for it. But, like, that's not sustainable. Like, you can't always find good timing. Sometimes they never give you a good timing. But Astra Stars are always based on you. They can't destroy an Astra Star. They can't, like, they literally cannot do anything to your abilities. It is about how well your abilities work compared to how well you react. Omen's more reactive. Astra's more proactive, I would say. Nah, that's not bad. They both have their own things. Omen can be is better at being reactive. Astra, if you set things up beforehand, Astra's stronger. Playable on all maps, plus controller always needed, plus can play defense and aggressive. Yeah, I would say Omen is like that. I just think that the only issue is that if we're looking at map pool, I think based on playstyle, they're very similar in terms of their capabilities. I would say just based on map pool, they're also kind of similar. It's just you sacrifice one of the maps or not. It really depends. Honestly, they're pretty close. Bro, you need more tiers than 5. I'm putting them in order, okay? If they're on the right side, they're on the worst right now. But I'm gonna sort it out later. All right, and then we're gonna go down. Raze just got hit with the fat nerf on her Roomba, which made her like I used to put her in S tier, but I don't think she's S tier or A tier. She might be A tier, but she be like the worst A tier. On Split, her nade is still good, but her Roomba doesn't get as much information, which makes her really like a lot more one-dimensional. Because you're clearing only close angles and you can't clear deeper angles anymore. Would I pick a Raze over a KO Sova? Okay, I'm gonna put her at the worst of A tier. We might change it to B tier. We'll see. Reyna, I'm gonna put at one of the best. I'm gonna put somewhere here. I'll put like there. Sage, Reyna is just like she's a duelist. She gets kills. If you get kills, I'm sure she'll work. Um, high B. High B. Even though she lost bind, but she got gain split. So it's like it kind of evens out. Sage split gained, bind lost, doesn't matter. Breeze lost, doesn't matter. Do I think that she's Sage is like never bad. But is Sage good enough to be in the really good, you know? That's what I'm trying to decide. Before I put her at A tier, I think she's really good. I'm never sad to have a Sage. So just because but I'm also never sad to have a Raze. But would I prefer Sage? I think Sage is always a safer pick. I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I regret this, but I'm gonna do this. Sky. I think I want to put Sky at A tier. The Roomba is supposed to kind of use like a Sova drone, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much what people use the Roomba for. It's just not that like it's just super. They cut the duration down in half. Like I don't know if you guys saw buying the Roomba doesn't even make it into hookah anymore. So that's how short in the distance is if you want to think about it. What do you think of shotgun, Raze, or Jet? I mean, sure it works. Just play close corners. I don't know, like, yeah, the Jet and the Raze have a better ability to use satchels for movement to close the distance, yes. I don't know. It's just, I think it's a gimmick. I think it's like, if I don't have a gun, I'll do it. But, like, if it's like a play style, I think you're just doing it for content. It's not bad. Like, it definitely has its merits, but it's like, why not just get a rifle and play to the strengths of you having a dash and nade instead of just always flying in people's faces and hoping that there's not more than one person there, you know? Yeah. Hello, why not live on Twitch? There was a bug. It wouldn't let me stream on Twitch. So we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna try it out after. All right. So what do we end off at? Okay, we have Sky. Sky, I'm thinking can be really good. Not bad. If it's not bad, it'd be like toward the front. Do I like Sky has good info, has heals. It's just that like do I like Sky more than KO? I think these are a direct comparison. Sky and KO, they both have flash. No, I like KO more. I think Sky's a little too slow. I feel like that's why. Damn, this is hard. What do you guys think? What's up, Freddy? Only A's? There's a lot of like this is actually like a very more balanced of a tier list than most years. Like usually there's like a lot more toward like the just not playable. The fact that there are so many agents that are in like between S and B like means that there's a lot more diversity in the play. If you're on a safe, buying a shorty and playing close to a smoke is viable, otherwise I wouldn't do it, yeah. You say B. Is there any bad map for Sky? No, not really. I want to say, okay, I'm gonna put it here, and then I'm gonna go back and revisit. All right, right at the end, we're gonna kind of review. We got Viper. Okay, Viper. I don't think she's that good as a main. I know a lot of people like to main Viper, and I think I get it because Viper's cool and she's hot and she's mommy. But like, if we're gonna be real, the only map that Viper is prominent on is Icebox, and on every other map you want dome smokes. You want your Omens, your Ashes, your Brimstones, right? You don't really want a Viper. You pretty much can play Viper on Pearl, and you can play Viper on Icebox. Those two maps. I'm saying you can play Viper on Pro. I'm not even saying that she's the most dominant pick. I say you can. So I'm gonna put this at like I want to say high D, low C. I'm gonna put it here. Viper's doomed this act. Yeah, she used to have Breeze. She used to have Breeze. She used to have Icebox, and then I played her on Fracture for a while, so that gave her 3 maps in my case. I think you can still play Viper on Fracture, but I think that like it's always a secondary like choice. Like you're purposely choosing to like play around smokes that like you want to play. So like, but like in reality now you're like playing like two subpar maps and one map that it works on. She needs prep to be effective. I think it's lower than Brim though. Yeah, I don't think she's like she's. It's just that like you have to think she's not played on Ascent, and there's a reason. Like her wall doesn't do anything. Like it's so bad. And then on Haven, it's like okay, it could be kind of good, but on the attack, it's ass. And Viper on attack is like the biggest issue is that you have a wall, which is kind of awkward. Then you have an orb that you have to learn a lineup for. And then the thing is like if that map ever like is heavily like reliant on fakes, like Haven, a lot of it is go C. Oh, never mind, I'm gonna go A or go B. You don't have the flexibility of switching it up. You threw your thing, it's down, it's gone. Good luck. Like yeah, that's all you could do. So like that's why like yeah. No. Double controller, yeah, I know someone out there is gonna make the argument. It's like, oh, but she's really good on double controller. I have never seen someone lock in second smokes in my games, okay? If you guys have, I don't know what type of like wonderland you guys live in, but I have never seen it. The moment I lock smokes, no one else locks smokes. Everyone's heading toward the duelist and everything else. It's just how it is. That's how ranked is. Yes, if you're playing in other cases, yeah, sure, double controller is good. Yes, I agree. I think if we all had the equivalent, like if we, I think if we were all, like smart people, we would run double controller. But a lot of us are playing for fun. A lot of us want to just play duelists and stuff like that. And then therefore, no one runs double controller because it's slow and no one wants to play that. Even though it probably win us all like 10 times the amount of games. You've seen it, yeah, Freddie? How many times have you seen it? Is it in the single digits compared to the amount of games that you haven't seen it? Uh, yeah, the Viper. I'm not saying you not having a Viper insta lock. I'm saying having two smokes. I play with three smokes on the same team. Okay, three smokes is a little funny. It's already hard for your team to lock in one. Two would be crazy. That's what I'm saying. Got one smoke? Oh, we're cooking. Like one like you're already happy to get one. Okay. So let's see. Yes, Jet is ahead of Killjoy. Omen is ahead of Astra. I think in terms of ease, I have to give it to Omen by a little bit just because Omen's easier. Astra I think is like good. Do I think Cypher so I don't know if like I can compare the roles in terms of like Cypher. Maybe I just compare based on like the agent class. So Sentinel, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna cut like okay. Don't look at them just in terms of who's on the last. I'm gonna do it based on agent class. So in terms of the agent class at A tier, I think Omen's slightly better than Astra. I think Cypher's better than Sage. I think. Is there any map where you wouldn't run Sova? Fracture. I think that's it. I don't know, these are two. Okay, I'll say these two are pretty close. I think Sova is more important because I think if you don't have someone with a dart, then you are gonna want to go Sova. So if you don't already have a fade, then you're gonna go Sova. But if you already have a fade, then maybe you'll decide to go KO. You can still go Sova too. That's still actually be pretty good. All right, then KO, and then in terms of duelist, I think Raze is here. I don't know if I like this. All right, someone can flame me in the comments if they want. Okay, next B tier, not bad. All right, so we got smokes. We only have one smokes. We have two duelists. We have two initiators. Okay, three initiators. All right. So in terms of smokes, well, Brimstone's the only choice for B tier. Between Reyna, Yoru, I think Reyna is more consistent, so I'm gonna go Reyna. If you're a God tier Yoru, then pick Yoru. I don't think you need me to tell you that. Okay, next. Breach, Fade, Sky. I think Fade's the most consistent because you always need some sort of dart. Between Breach and Sky, I think Sky is better. I think Breach is like Breach is like scary. Sometimes you just you don't have info, right? I think info is like the easiest thing to work off of. Yeah, you can stun, you can flash, but sometimes you're flashing nothing. Getting the info is always solid. Like you're never like whether you find out if someone is there or not. In both cases, it tells you something. Breach, you flash something, you waste utility, you don't actually gain anything, something like that. Fracture split, yeah. I literally used to play Raze on Ascent to clear a main using my Roomba. I think you can still do that. Reyna has to be D minus? Nah. Reyna in ranked, Look, we're not. If we're talking about ideally, yeah, she's a selfish agent. She only has like a heal and a dismiss for herself. But the issue is like that is ranked. Ranked is a dumpster fire of a show where like everyone's just fragging out. And in that case, she thrives in the dumpster fire that is ranked. So why she's not that bad. Okay, so we already sorted this. Phoenix, I think Phoenix is more consistent than Neon. If you're God tier Neon like Yoru, like what I said for Yoru, if you're God tier Neon, then yeah, I could say it be switched. But in general, this. Sentinel, and Viper. Yep, Chamber here, Viper here, Harbor. Yeah, Harbor. If I could put Harbor all the way over here, I would. Reyna's literally the most picked agent. Yeah, it's just like she's just super like turn off brain, run in, shoot, throw some flashes. You know, that's it. If you think about it, almost every agent is S tier if you know how to play them with your eyes closed. Okay. Okay. Alright, so this is the final tier list. Make sure you screenshot, whatever. Alright. Say hi to YouTube, guys. Oh shoot, I should have added the chat. I should. Oh, where'd my chat go? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Average Valorant player IQ is 100. Isn't that just average? Average Valorant player is averagely smart. Honestly, Finesse way higher because he can farm orbs because no one can test orbs. If that, yeah, that mean like it could be. I just think that in general, like he's not that good. Would I put Phoenix over Breach? Why? No, I like utility, guys. In my opinion, having utility is always more important than like is like most of the time more important. Phoenix just you're literally playing Phoenix for his 2 flashes and his ult. That's it. That like all his other abilities are pretty much negligible. Yeah, I agree with Breach above Phoenix. I do. I'm unlocking KJ every game from now on. Do it. There is a lot of KJs. KJs has so much value this patch. Or this act. Really good. Really, really good. Okay. You guys, oops, sorry, wrong one.